What's
We're
up?
still not. We're still not
We're
live.
we're
Yeah,
not
we're still
live.
not live.
I'm showing that we're live.
I show that it's live, but if I click on it, it's
It's
It's still
nothing's.
waiting.
we're not live at
Oh,
all.
here we go. Here we go.
Oh my
Okay. Yeah,
gosh.
this is us. Oh my gosh, and I look terrible. Okay.
Just turn off the lights. Oh my gosh. All right. You have to manually start it
No,
now.
that only lasted 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
What do you mean?
You have to manually start it now. So
Yeah. You have to start it in the OBS and then start it on YouTube. That's so stupid.
All right,
So
well,
repeat
technical
everything you just said.
Oh boy.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Ryan had a good time. He was waiting for Mr. Spoon Boy. They were trying to have the hashtag Spoon Match. That sums up the tournament from Ryan's perspective.
Also, I don't hear any audio
What?
on the stream.
Do you
All
have?
right, Chris, what are you doing to us here?
Hold on. That's so stupid. I hear it.
It could be okay. It's just me.
Yeah. God. This.
Why is that so low? Oh my god. All right, audio is confirmed.
All right.
Audio is confirmed. Okay, yay!
Okay. All right. Wow.
So 15 minutes later,
Yeah.
here we go.
Oh, I messed up something. Oh.
No way. That can't be true.
Dude.
Not how everything's going so smoothly right now.
It's not my fault. YouTube changed everything that they did.
No, it's not. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine as we burn down.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my god. So Joe, how was it like commentating and helping out run the tournament and whatnot?
I had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I didn't want to step on Arja's toes. Oh my gosh, that is just so terrible.
Terrible.
I'm sorry, everybody. My apologies. Let me do something about this real quick. Can we circle back around to me here in a minute?
Yeah,
I
let
need
Joe
to-
take care of his camera.
The lighting is just.
Turn your green light off, dude. It's kind of weird to have a green light on right now.
So we were trying to do the live stream for the tournament as much as we could, but the switching from place to place just crashed my computer over and over again. My computer is getting long in the tooth, as they say, and I probably need to format or something like that to fix all the issues.
Or get a dedicated streaming machine. So.
Yeah, But so we couldn't continue on anymore, and it was just too much for the computer, so I had to drop out of streaming.
So you were able to stream my first 2 rounds, and I believe the final one that you streamed was one of Ben's matches.
Yeah.
And we also caught the tail end of another match. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
And then one of my rounds, it was either round 4 or 5, was against Ross from Weekly Dice Arena, and so that match was up on his Twitch channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend watching it. My team had a very interesting win con that the only time I was able to actually make it work as a win con was in that match. So,
What's up, Reg?
It was nice to see it go off.
Yeah.
Hey, Reg.
Oh man.
Hey, Reggie.
You got here after all the things are worked out.
All the kinks.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's circle back to Joe. How was it helping organize and all that?
Okay, first of all, it was a blast. We were running around like chickens with their head cut off towards the rounds 1 to 4, and then it kind of went into a lull mid 4. But then, of course, issues happened, both technical and with a certain participant as well. We'll go back to that later. Everybody already knows the story on that. I really don't want to do that. I want to bring that up on this stream, but there will be more on that later. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that's all that should be said about that.
All right, Forrest.
You're taking away all my fun.
I mean, we're going to hear about Ryan's rants later, but we all know that the memes that get generated out of that one are just pure gold. So I'm going to save that for Ryan.
All right. So, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, getting back to what I was saying. We got sidetracked. It was fun, but unfortunately, my expertise in challenge, I didn't want to use it in this case because I wanted I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, and I wasn't 100% there because I was dealing with my children, and then of course after that, after round 3, whenever I had to skip out on commentating, I wasn't really available outside of being on the phone, so I couldn't really do anything to help them out with editing challenge. The way they formatted it was they did it to where participants could submit their own results, which is fine, but it turns it from manual to completely automated. So that means that after every submission, you can't edit it. You can't go back and edit it as the TO.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, what happens then is they auto-generate pairings. And if you don't submit yourself as a player that you dropped for that round, because that's an option, then it continues to go ahead and pair you. And so then, as soon as we got into round 4, there was that specific issue that happened where 2 players dropped.
Actually, it was
But
round
it
5
wasn't-
when they actually dropped.
It was round 5. It was round 5 that 2 players dropped, and unfortunately, Challenge didn't catch it because they didn't choose that drop option, and the TOs didn't catch it before the final submission was placed. So that's what happened there. That's what led to all the confusion in the ranks. But other than that, it was a blast. It was a blast commentating those first 2 rounds with you, Chris. That was a lot of fun,
Mhm.
I'll admit. And yeah, it was a blast seeing Ryan, kind of go up and down.
Yeah, from my personal experience with challenge, or whatever the hell it is, it's a pile of crap if you have win. Because if it's a misclick on something, you have to rebuild the tournament from the very start to that round to fix the issue, and it's a nightmare. Honestly, it's a nightmare. If we had,
as I said earlier, challenge is challenged.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, I added that in the discussion when all that stuff was going on. I said, hey, just my 2 cents. Challenge is really rough to get going once stuff starts happening. Honestly.
So what happened with I'm gonna call us a council. So what happened with the One Big Weekend Council was the 5 of us got together and we said, we were like, all right, what's the best way to run brackets? Yort and I had access to Win. Troy. Troy has a lot more experience with Win, as far as like a domain and everything and how to handle it, and I can get by. But so we both said we can do Win or we can do Challenge, and then Jordo said, well, Joe, you have more experience with Challenge, so why don't you tell us what we can do there? And I said, okay. Gave them the options for brackets, and they said, well, Win doesn't let us do that, so let's run that way. Hey, Troy. Glad to see you join us. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. But getting back to the main part of it is that we all came to the consensus that Challenge would be better. Though, unfortunately, I wasn't able to work up a bracket, and I think we kind of ad hoc'd a bracket, or we generated a bracket to the options that are previously stated, and that's what caused all the issues.
Yeah, if Challenge lets you edit the brackets after they're submitted, I would have no problem with it. That's the only issue.
You can do it, but you have to then submit all of the results.
Yeah. Rebuilding
you
the
have to-
tournament.
Yeah, you have to pretty much be a dedicated. So this is why Challenge works for other competitive games that are 1v1 or 3v3, because it requires a dedicated TO to input entry or data entry.
Yeah.
Which is how we're able to get by with it now, as we make sure, one of us who's not in the actual tournament is managing, that the data entry into it.
Yeah.
So it's as soon as you understand those limitations, it's usable. It's still not as easy as say Win or something like that, but
Yeah.
Win doesn't have Win runs this one bracket, have a good day, and you're done. Challenge has other options which make it a little bit more attractive in some other ways, but you've got to know those limitations going in, and they got hit big time due to that, and I can't hold that against them. Any of us running that event, probably if we had, anyone other than us who's used Challenge, bit, would have been bit by that.
Yeah.
And Troy,
I'll admit, I probably would have been bit by it, even if, even knowing what I know about it. It is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, Troy, I mentioned it earlier that what really happened there was the dropping. We couldn't get in those drops quick enough, and the rounds auto generated and populated. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, other than that, it was actually really great. It was a great first time for Arch. Everybody needs to thank him and show appreciation for everything he did because he took upon himself the burden. Troy and I weren't able to dedicate 100% of our time to being TO, which is unfortunate, and it's something that I wanted to do because I would have been able to do that for them. I would have been able to collect the results. I would have been able to put the results in. I would have been able to drop the appropriate people at the appropriate times. So what we learned from that next time is that we need to have a dedicated TO while the other one is being an appropriate tournament host.
/judge.
/judge. And that's another thing too, is that Arj pointed out to the rest of the council, he was like, okay, if we're gonna do this right, we need to have we need to have the Holy Trinity. We need to have the tournament organizer, we need to have the judge, and we need to have the host. And the difference between the three is that they're only going to be dedicated to doing those things. They're not going to be doing anything else. So the judge isn't going to be trying to host the tournament and announce pairings and whatnot. And the host isn't going to be trying to judge. And the tournament organizer isn't going to be doing anything more than collecting results and making sure that the correct results are reflected in the standings. And I think knowing that, just like you said earlier, Ryan, we try to formulate that same thing. We have one person, or we have one main tournament organizer, and then we have one or more backups during our CR Game Room events. And if you're not playing, then you're doing one of those three things.
Yeah.
Unless you're mean, then you're not doing any of it.
I think one of these days
Then you're just
Robert's
Rob.
just going to come out and he's going to just totally bust out like an All Might. He's going to be like, I am here.
I don't think
Yep.
he is.
And then I'll just say, hey, Chris, I need you to do this.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
He takes the baton heroically and the light shines on him for a second, and then he just hands it off to Chris.
I just wanted to draw attention.
I'm a really good delegator.
Okay. All right. So I think the tournament was good. It was fun. I liked commenting. Next year, I'd like to participate in it as an active participant, but I need to play better. That's for one thing.
Dude, there was
So-
only one big weekend. There's not going to be another one. That was the one.
Limited time offer. Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
You didn't make it, so boo on
Yeah.
you.
You didn't
Alright,
either.
well,
How do you feel
I
now?
I got some news for you, Chris. If we
Oh.
manage to rack up enough prizing, we will have another round. We're actually talking about that right now. The council is. We may bring in more people on the back end to kind of support, but we don't want to put too many cooks in the kitchen, as it was said. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to push for a second round, but we're going to learn from our mistakes. We're going to only accept people who have properly registered, who have properly played in their region, and who have submitted the correct tournament results. And we're only going to move forward with the people that are qualified to do so. And that's going to be that. But yeah, we should have an answer. Our timetable's kind of loose right now because Arj is just trying to recover from it. We need enough surprising. I mean, factory set's really good, and we need to be able to either match that or top that as far as pricing is concerned, because then people are going to go, oh, well, the second one's not as good as the first one, so I'm not really going to try that hard. Yeah, Troy, that's what I deemed us appropriately, because I just don't know what to call us otherwise.
I think there's other things you could offer as pricing that monetarily may not be as much as a factory set that may be more worthwhile to participants. Most of us already have most of the cards that we want from those sets, so a factory set is not it's one of those, okay, I'll either leave it there set aside and never open
That's
it.
why I didn't win, because I was like, I already got all this.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Whatever.
But there's other things that could be done for pricing that I think may be just as interesting. if not more interesting, type scenarios.
Well, we're always open to ideas. Anybody who wants to pitch in can. So the qualifiers were actually the best part about this whole thing, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because everybody, literally everybody, put all their extra cards. I mean, in Dallas, Ryan and you guys, you saw that prize pool. There was enough there for 2.5 rounds of prize.
3 rounds.
Picking.
No,
Three
there
rounds.
was almost 4 full rounds
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, it was
every
almost 4 full
participant.
rounds.
Yeah.
And so.
Plus the participation prizes, were multiple as well. I mean, the local community really stepped it up for our prizing in Dallas. I'm not saying no one else did. I'm not saying anything towards any others. I don't know what the others did. I only know what we did.
I came in close to last place, and I took home 2 super rares, so that's all I know.
I mean, the pricing was off the chain. Not only did the first prize, not only did first place winner he got 2 of the promo kits, the newest ones, the Spies, the Super Spies, and Iron Man War Machine. He got 2 full sets, but also he got 2 super rares, a handful of foil promos, and he also got the dice to match them, and it was just insane.
Plus 3D printed stuff, the
plus 3D printed stuff from Ryan
one of the
himself.
dice cases, stuff like that. I mean, we had quite a bit going out there.
So we're saying like the highlight of it was having the community come together on the qualifier and as well as the online tournament, because I want to say we had 4 new people to the online scene participate in that tournament.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That was amazing. I mean, we had our own Kevin Duffy who won our tournament.
Who beat the crap out of everyone.
And and we had him participating, and then we had one from that was there with I think it was he was in the same room as Bodie.
Yep.
I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was there and he had never done that kind of thing before, so that was nice. Then we had
Dan.
Dan. It was Dan. Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah, Dan H. That's how I remember his name being in the entrance. But anyway, yeah, there was the other 2 were from Troy's area. I believe it's Washington, right, Troy?
There was actually another one, international, a brand new international player to online that I played in my. I want to say it was my round 5. Peter was his name, but I don't remember what his online handle was.
It was
Peter was
C.
his name.
It was Peter C. I know who you're talking about. Sesnick or something like that. It wasn't Jezik, and it wasn't Peter Van de Werner.
No.
It was Peter C. That's who I remember.
Yeah.
5 guys.
5 Guys Burgers.
Yes, 5 participants that we had never seen in the online realm before. They just, they showed up and we had a good time.
All right. So hopefully, will it be called the second big weekend? Copyrighting that right now.
We'll probably wind up doing is just calling them seasons, because you have the qualifiers, the online qualifiers, which are the ones that last so they would actually be appropriately blocked into seasons because they're about a 2 to 3 month affair.
Mm-hmm.
One big weekend part 2.
Sorry, Troy. I keep on forgetting you're a Midwesterner. I'm sorry.
He's a Minnesotan, eh?
One bigger weekend, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my God!
Every
time you have a chance to bring Boogaloo up, you bring it up.
Because it's just such a fun title. You just put part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
All right. Well, we're about to go over the X-Men part 4 or 5. Even more electrical Boogaloo, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how to call it, but yeah, we're going to be doing that right now. You guys have anything else about the one big weekend?
Nothing that I'll say right now.
If anybody has any ideas or wants to participate and volunteer their services, get in touch with Arj again. we put out an FAQ or sort of a how did we do form to all the participants, and we've gotten several of y'all have done really good feedback on it, so that's helping us kind of formulate where we're going.
Thank you for reminding me. I need to submit.
Fill out the FAQ. The sooner we get them, the more of an idea we have for what to do in the future. And then also just your continued support. You guys showed up. Everybody showed up. Even though y'all didn't participate in the tournament, there were several people who watched our stream. New people, by the way. I think we had 4 or 5 new viewers that just started randomly commenting, and a lot of them were international. And so it was really fun. We want to see more of that. We want to see the community grow. If it's by our own tournaments, then or by anybody else's, but even more so.
I think they just got tired of that British dry humor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That Spoon Boy.
That Spoon Boy. All right, so about to do a transition here. Huh? All right, and then... All right, doing my screen share of this. All right, you guys got that up now?
Yep, you might want to make your screen the focus.
yeah, man.
I made the focus on stream that, so
Okay.
we're good to go on that. I did some things, man. I did some things.
Yep, it finally showed up and became a little clearer. So
I'm gonna have to go off my own notes because I cannot see that.
not a problem. So first we've got we'll go through the actual campaign box. So Joe, I'll name the character, and is there any specific one out of the 3 you want to, or 2 or 3 you want to talk about, we'll focus on that. Otherwise, we'll just kind of go through the list. Several people have already gone through and analyzed all these. We're not going to go through and read each one word for word, all that stuff. You guys don't want to see that.
We're just mainly doing standouts or what we
Right.
think
I wanna
are
see it.
standouts. Rob still hasn't seen anything.
Yep.
Not surprising.
I looked at all of these the day that they put them out, so bam.
But do you
All right, well,
remember?
Rob, then you can give us some feedback. I personally have not had a chance to look through many of them. So we're starting off with Beast. Activist tendencies, here, sir, and taming the beast within.
And by the way, let's give a big shout out to Gaming with Sidekicks. They shared the images, so thank you, Gaming with Sidekicks, all the guys over there. Thank you.
Yeah, Isaac Stewart.
Thanks,
all
guys.
you guys over there, thank you very much.
You are appreciated.
Yep, so he's an X-Men affiliated, 2 or 3 cost mass character, max 5 on his dice, which is nice to see that we're continuing that trend of having some alternate maxes versus just everything being max 4.
Is it justified in Max 5 on those, though?
It very rarely is it ever justified for max 5, but the nice thing is that means it comes with 3 dice in the campaign box, and 3 is more justifiable to having the 3 dice for it.
Yeah.
Especially being this low of a cost. So from a standpoint of just buying one campaign box and the dice that you're getting in just that one campaign box, it's nice to see that they did this max 5, which means we're getting the 3 dice for it. And so in that scenario, I'm okay with it. Are you ever actually going to run the max 5 on it? Probably not.
I am.
So here's another thing about Max 5. It's only really useful if you're doing Swarm. Like for example, Multiple Man.
Swarm
Yeah.
or a cheap when fielded. Being able to
Or
cycle
something
multiple.
that adds buffs for however many characters are active.
Like Black Widow, that I got stomped with on the one big weekend.
So out of
I mean-
these, go ahead, Rob.
I was gonna say, are we gonna run through all of them? Or we're just gonna do the one that we like, because I kind of like the here, sir, that he can only be blocked by 2 or more character dice, because he's cheap to field. He's got a big butt on him, so he's like 2/4 right on that 3 side,
Yep,
And we
1,
have
2,
the-
4.
and we have that flip global, so that's 4 damage easily early on in the game.
Yeah. That could be pretty good.
Yeah,
There's valid uses for them. None of them are
None of them
standout
stand
win
out,
cons by
yeah.
themselves. So.
but at 2 costs that you can do 4 damage with, it's not that bad.
I mean, the 3 costs with the pay a mask and target opponent must block the beast die this turn. So that's pretty cool.
That one's actually my pick out of all of them, because he just he distracts 1 to 2 characters basically, and they're ones that you want to distract too. So let's say you have a big overcrushing dude, you get the 2 bigger defenders on the opposing team to block beasts, while your big overcrushing guy eats up all the sidekicks and the smaller characters.
Yeah, the only drawback to him compared to the other ones is he has the 3 cost out of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Let's go to the next.
all right, so next we've got Black Tom Cassidy, Plans in Motion, and White Bishop. He is Plans in Motion is a Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and a villain, and White Bishop is a Hellfire Club and a villain. Both are 4-cost bolts. So, any standouts in these guys?
Call Out can be useful. His attune is too expensive for an attune. He's a big boy. Like,
Out
not
of the
big,
2, you probably go with Plans in Motion because it has fast. He's gonna do that 5
the
damage
fast and
first.
Call Out is a good little combo there. You know,
It's a max 4. Goes back to that.
Yep.
That's fine.
He's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I might find a use for him on a villain-specific team.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, if I'm building a Brotherhood of Evil Mutant style team, I might find a use for him. But other than that,
Or a team up. Yeah, team up exactly.
yeah.
All right.
So now we're going to Blob, Big Talkin' Costumed Clown, and Frederick Dukes. 3 and 4 cost shield, both of which are Brotherhood and villains. Alternate coloring of his X-Men First Class die, so stats. He's heavy on that backside. You're not getting rid of him easy, no matter what face he's on. So,
See, the 3 cost is it's very limiting on the Intimidate.
It is, but it's not.
Are you kidding me?
Because you got to think of people like Joe that like to run that instant war, that are fielding all their sidekicks and doing those things. Now you just buffed up your guy,
Pretty much.
right?
yeah, and the fact that he takes out all
All the
opposing
sidekicks. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It says may only use Intimidate on sidekick character dice. Blob's Intimidate ability affects all opposing sidekick character dice instead of affecting only one.
and gets +1
and gets
for each
plus
side.
1.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, never mind. That's an awesome for 3. Oh,
For
wow.
3 costs, that is a pretty good anti-sidekick team.
I feel like that should be the 4 cost, and the 4 cost should be the 3.
Yeah. I feel that.
I don't.
No, that 4 cost is 4 cost for a reason.
Yeah. So the thing about 3 cost that you have to remember is, competitively speaking, your threshold for cost allowance is always determined by your base 4 that you roll a turn, and you're always going to want to have a 2 to 3 costs so that you can purchase them and have enough left over to filter your bag via Resurrect, Global, or Villainous Pact,
Or field a character,
or field a character. So that 3 right there is like that's your kind of ceiling as far as like turn 1 to 2 purchases, maybe even 3 and 4 if you're wanting to do like what Ryan's saying, like field a cheap character that you'd already purchased the previous turns, and then you can purchase your other piece that's synergy or control.
But what I'm saying is the power level of the 3 cost is way higher than the 4 cost.
Like you said, it's only affecting sidekicks, and if your opponent doesn't have any sidekicks, then you're just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, well, what he's saying is the 4 cost is over cost for it, but you have to remember it's not purchase or field dice with a printed purchase cost of 2. So most teams will have 1, if not 2 characters on their team that are 2 cost.
Yeah, and you're
And
shutting down a portion of
You're
it.
shutting that down. I can't purchase it anymore, nor can I field that character anymore. That's devastating. On a lot of teams, you just took out a quarter of a team, in most cases.
But I feel as though that blob one can be, it could be like a second or a tertiary win condition on its own, and it's a 3-drop.
Yes, but only against certain teams.
Yeah, but
You
if
know,
as long as it's not your main win condition, you're fine on that though.
Right, right. Again, I'm not seeing either of these get used anymore. More so than our previous X-Men First Class Rare Blob. You know, but if I was only using campaign boxes and I was forced to use one of these two blobs, I would probably put the 3 cost on there just from the purchase cost on it. But it's not to say either of them are bad. They both have their uses.
Yeah.
And Intimidate's only when fielded, so it's not you only get to use it that one turn, but that could be the
Right,
turn that
and
you win the game.
and his fielding costs. I mean, that 0-1-2, he can get expensive to field to continue to use that ability.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean, there is a benefit to having that 4 cost. Just get him out there, and again with a 5, 6, 8 on his backside, he's not getting
going
out there
anywhere.
easy.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right, like it.
Ship
All
it.
right.
Ship it.
Cerebra, Mutant Detector, Defending X-Haven, and Rust Bucket. 6-7 cost shield.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
None of these are
Sorry,
good.
X-Men affiliated. I forgot to say X-Men affiliated. That's how impressed I
These
was with these
are
cards.
these are the big bodies that you pick up. These are like second to last or last pick draft big
Yeah.
bodies.
Yeah.
I guess I'm taking this over something that's completely unplayable.
Old school draft. This is what you got hate drafted in the first pile, and so you might pick up a second one in the second pile to get an additional die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of the 3, I'd probably get the Defending X-Haven just because I can build a team around X-Men and cheap, or cheaper than 7. So
Yeah. You can get that down low if it's an X-Men affiliated team.
yeah, so that's not too bad.
And again, the backside was at a 5-6-8 for defense with a 5-6-8 for attack, 1-2-3 for fielding. He has a big body. If you can figure out a way to get Overcrush with him or something like that,
it's good.
He's not bad.
Yeah. I think the middle. Rob's right. The middle one is the most playable out of it, and it's not that playable.
But again, I mean, this is definitely at least last 3 picks in a draft. You're not taking this one early.
Cool.
Okay, but
Uh-oh.
spoilers. Hope Summers. Just saying. Hope Summers. You can
Agreed. If you can pick up a Hope Summers early in your draft, then this increases in the priority of taking the draft.
I'm
Putting it down a
suggesting-
note because I don't know what Hope Summers is right now.
Okay.
We'll talk about Hope Summers here in a little bit.
When we get to Hope Summers, I'll do a callback on that specific Cerebra because they have a really good synergy that I would even use in Constructed.
Okay.
It goes beyond draft.
Okay. The next one.
Cable, Body Slide, Psionic Blast, and X-Force Team Leader. A 4 or 5 cost Bolt, X-Men affiliated.
So 2 good uses. Body Slide works basically like a super rare Angela.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, she's the one that does the extra damage for Infiltrate.
No,
or is that Ricochet?
No, the extra damage is Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
I'm still a little fuzzy on the
It's a
Guardians.
Black Widow on steroids.
Yeah, it's a Black Widow on steroids because you got these really awesome stats. High fielding cost, though, unfortunately, I would prefer to see a 1-1-2 kind of vibe because paying 2 on the second level.
I would never use him over Black Widow for Infiltrate Team. Because he's only boosting his infiltrate damage, not all infiltrate damage. Black Widow's giving everything. So he's higher cost and only giving himself. Now, he can give himself a larger bonus, but you're going to have lots of sidekicks. So unless you're running an infiltrate team with Captain America Super Rare, where all of your sidekicks get infiltrate as well, you're not going to be doing that all too often.
No, he does a lot of damage though. Rob's pointing out that he does a lot of damage because it's for each other non-sidekick character die that attack this turn.
Yeah,
no, I agree. He's going to do a large amount of damage with infiltrate.
But you want him to buff everything else.
But if Black Widow's buffing everyone, so if
you're right.
Yep.
I kind of like the middle one, honestly.
Oh yeah, I was just about to get into that. So Doomlance plus this guy.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's stupid. So stupid.
So you do Energy Field, Cable, and Doomlance, and you pretty much have one of the better board clears because it's kind of a lower cost. Again, that fielding cost though. I'm not gonna lie. I have zero incentive to field a level 2 cable. Level 3 is fine because you're getting a 5/5 for 2, but that 3/3 for 2 is just not a good trade.
Yeah, I mean the 1/2/2 fielding cost. You either want them level 1 or level 3. Level 2 is just a turd. Yeah.
So then, I will say this for everybody watching: this cable, I don't think cable's from the team pack. I think cable's in the box.
What we're looking
This is
at
the
is
box.
the box.
Okay, so for the viewers at home, every single version of cable is usable. I would put any one of these in a build, and they all have their various uses. For example, the infiltrate one goes in a really good infiltrate build. The cable one goes in a Doomlance package, and then this cable with Energize is a lot of fun with Parallax. Just saying.
Yeah, and I think that the cable in the infiltrate team, he's just the bomb in the infiltrate team, the one that
In set infiltrate, he's awesome. Infiltrate as a generic infiltrate team using any set, he's moved down the priority.
There's better
list.
options. Yeah, there's better options.
You know,
Better,
for
cheaper
infiltrate.
options too.
yeah. Well,
Cool.
All right, next one.
Cyclops, prismatic lenses, and present or accounted for. 5 cost bolt, X-Men affiliated.
They recolored the die, it seems.
Yeah,
they
we've got a multicolored die, marble die with
The hippie die, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prismatic lenses is too conditional. Present for or accounted for is the one to go with. I believe in this situation because you're getting a discount on your dice, and he's also buffing all your X-Men characters. There's not really, to me, there's no other choice.
I don't know, man. I mean, the prismatic lens, you've got, so in this set, a little additional spoiler when we get to the other characters, there's 2 other characters that care about your bolt characters being active or attacking.
Mhm.
And Cyclops has a lot of synergy with those characters. One of them is a 2 cost.
Yeah, but with a 1/1/1 fielding cost with a 2/2/4 backside, you're not cycling him fast enough.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So a when fielded ability on a 5 cost, it's just not going to be enough fast enough.
Yep.
Alright.
That's why I think you just get one of them out there. You let him sit there. He discounts everything else and also buffs everything else.
Yeah, I mean the other one is the better of the 2 in that scenario.
If you're running an X-Men team, one is better. If you're running a Bolt team, the other one's better. Let's just say that. Because
Yeah.
the Cyclops president accounted for, it's basically 2 cards in one, in my opinion.
But the thing like Ryan just said is you have to have a way to cycle them. So
Yeah.
you have to have that ability as well.
I mean, there's ways to KO stuff like that. I know it's
there
expensive.
is,
but-
yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think there's better
Attacking
ways.
them is a pretty good way to cycle.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but again, with a 2/4
But now chump
backside,
block
it's
him.
not always easy. If they chump block him, he's staying.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so next we've got Donald Pierce, refocusing the Reavers, better, faster, stronger, and White Knight. 5 cost fist. All of them are Hellfire Club and villains.
Nice to see they're sticking with the Hellfire Club and extended it past a few sets. So,
I would have liked some more Thunderbolts. That's
Yeah.
just me.
we got a lot of Thunderbolts recently.
We got a
Yeah,
whole
but then
team
they
pack full of them.
yeah, but then they phased out all the others.
Yeah.
Oh, Civil War? Yeah, that's true. So, the only Donald Pierce I'm interested in is the better, faster, stronger. When fielded, deal X damage to target opposing character die, where X is the number of fists in your reserve pool.
He's still a 5 cost, but he is a little bit easier to field.
And those stats are amazing.
Yeah, we've got a 4/2/5/3/6/5.
0-1-1.
Yeah, 0/1/1 fielding cost. In a good specific build using some 2 or 1 cost fist characters with the new Clayface Global, you can get a massive amount of fists very quickly and get him in the field, for free or cheap.
That
and
Poxwalker.
do some serious damage. Yeah, that's
so good.
Poxwalker. Yeah, you you just don't buy any of them until you get him in. Get ready to get him fielded, and then just
Yeah. You get
cycle
that
through and be able
that
to
two
get
side.
5 or 6 fists in your reserve pool by doing that, and just boom.
Yeah, you can clear out a streak on 2 of its sides, I think,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
just by filling this one card. I'm
Yep.
also a fan of Overcrush, so I'm good with either one of these. I probably wouldn't run either one
Overcrush,
of them.
I think, is a better one in set in draft.
Mm-hmm.
The Better, Faster, Stronger will probably see more play out in more constructed play.
Oh, show.
Regenerate will probably never see the light of day.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that runs any Regenerate on anything.
Zombie Regenerate in set for D&D was always got played. So
all right,
I've never seen it.
Emma Frost.
that girl Emma Frost.
As you say, Shaw, not always about good or evil, and Mental Mistress, a 4-cost shield. As you say, Shaw is a Hellfire Club and villain. The other 2 are X-Men.
And they changed the color on that die.
Yep.
Notably saying, used to be just white, and
Well, it used to be
gray
clear,
and
and then now we've got a yellow and blue.
I
So
like
very
this
reminiscent
color.
of Constantine.
Yeah.
I'm not, I haven't seen the die personally. If they did it clear, then it is a perfect Constantine coloring, which makes it the next to impossible to read on stream. The yellow clear dice, no one can ever seem to read on stream.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about this one?
That middle one is weird.
Well, you have an active X-Men character die other than Emma Frost. She gets +1 attack and defense, while Emma Frost is active. If you have no active non-Emma Frost X-Men character dice, she gains villain.
That can be good, depending on the build.
Double affiliation at that point, as long as you don't have any X-Men in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I don't. There's not very much use I can think of having double affiliated with a single character in the field. Typically you want those double affiliations with a team up build, and you're gonna, at that point you'd only be getting +1.
Well, if you don't have any villains on your team, like let's say you're running weird sets that don't have a villain in it, and you're running a team up, having this in there would actually there's no other villains.
She's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you had no other X-Men character die on there, you could do that.
It's weird.
But at that point, you're not gaining the benefit of the first half of the card, and at a 4 cost, you're negating the ability, half of your ability.
True, but a second affiliation for a card has decent stats for 4 on a team up. For team up, it only makes sense for team up. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I do like the
second half
Mental
of the ability
Mistress
is
also.
there.
Mental Mistress, the control aspect of it, they can only attack with 1 copy of a die or with 1 copy of a die.
Oh,
I think that's pretty good too.
That's really good.
Yeah, that definitely has some benefits there. I mean, I'd probably would say I'd run the Mental Mistress more so than I would run the other 2, but none of them are jumping out at me.
Well, let's go to the one that Joe was jumping out at.
Joe, like mad dash to get back on the stream here while we get to this one. So, Hope Summers, All of Us in Messiah Complex, 2-cost shield, X-Men affiliated. Oh, there is a third one. Sorry, and the third one is.
I want to see if you can say it.
Hold on. Pluripotent Echopraxia.
Pluripotent Echopraxia.
Pluripotent Exoprasia or Praxia or Praxia.
It's Echopraxia.
It's
It's words.
Exoprasia, I think is the correct way to pronounce it.
All right, which one were you gushing about, Joe?
The last one, Pluripotent Echoprasia. So when fielded, choose an X-Men character card on your team, replacing all previous choices. Hope Summers gains that character's text box in addition to her own. She retains that text box until she is fielded again, even if she's no longer active.
All right, so
put her together with the Cyclops or the Cerebra, and she's basically free after you put her together with the Cerebro, which means that you can then purchase extra copies, and then whenever you refilled her, you use her for something else, another X-Men affiliated ability that's just as good or better. So let's say you have both Cyclops and Cerebro on your team, then you filled your first Hope Summers relatively early too, since she's a 3 cost. And you field her naming Cerebra, and then you buy up all your other Hope Summers, and then you field them naming something else to get the immediate bonus. It's just great. There's a lot of people have been gushing over this, not just me.
No, there's a lot of shenanigans that can be had with that.
Yeah.
The fact that she retains the text even when she's not in the field
Yeah.
is insane.
So a lot of people have just been saying like, okay, well, you put her together with this other, like they were saying, Colossus. You put her together with the Colossus. You put her together with. I mean, there's so many X-Men that just weren't playable before because they were 6, 7, and 8 costs that you just didn't justify having them on your team because they relied so much on other X-Men. But with a 3 cost version of that, you can do that and more.
This kind of reminds me of Doppelganger from the D&D set a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Just
Or Super Rare Mimic.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fact that she's limited to only being able to target X-Men affiliated characters, limits some of it, but
It's one of the bigger
Again-
affiliations in this.
specifically in this set, it's a huge affiliation, and in Modern with X-Men First Class, there is a lot of X-Men available. We go Golden, you really only get to add Deadpool and Uncanny X-Men. There's a handful of Navy X as well. So I mean, the pool doesn't grow a huge amount if you go Golden on it. But again, as Joe said, there's a lot of what used to be those high-cost X-Men that you never really thought of that now become extremely potent because you now have a 3 cost that can get their text and they don't have to be purchased or in the field.
The Cyclops from AVX that whenever it attacks, it does its damage before the defenders are assigned. That'd be a really good one.
The Cyclops from Uncanny X-Men that deals this damage, twice effectively. There's a lot of funness that can be had.
So,
Uncanny?
not to overshadow the other 2 versions of Hope Summers either. All of us
I like
has
that first one. Yeah, that bag cycling is ridiculous.
Yeah, when she's filled to draw a die for each of your different active X-Men characters, place any X-Men character die you drew in your prep area, and all the other ones go to your use pile. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
For a 2 cost.
That is a ramp and a half. I mean, or churn and a half.
That kind of seems like the X-Men, the rare X-Men school or whatever on the Xavier School. Yeah.
And then Messiah Complex, Hope Summers gets +1 attack and +1 defense for each of your different active non-Hope Summers X-Men characters. That is huge because you were just talking about Doppelganger, and we talked about Super Rare Mimic. Can you imagine if we had Hope Summers plus those 2, plus let's say like a Jubilee or who's another really good, or a Wolverine, the promo, the OP Wolverine. I mean, there's a lot of good, cheap X-Men affiliated characters out there that you can have fielded using Bifrost, the rare Bifrost, and you just chain all that, and then boom, she gets all of these stat boosts.
Mm-hmm. And it winds up being an explosive turn. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Next, we have Iceman, I'm Just Me, and Right on Schedule, 4 cost Bolt, X-Men affiliated. All right, who wants to cover this one?
Go ahead, Robert. If you.
I don't. Either one of them are fine. They're not great, but I do like the Right on Schedule. Whenever he takes damage during the attack step, he deals 2 damage to target opponent. Yeah. A little pinging action on him.
Yeah, like I said, the limit of during the attack step,
But can't you do globals in the attack step even if he's not attacking?
If you declare with an attacker, If you don't declare attackers, then there's no global step at that point.
Correct. I'll swing
So
with a sidekick. I'll ping my
Right.
Iceman, and I just did you 2 damage.
Right. You have to have something to be able to attack with, and then ping the hell out of him, and do either 3 or 5 pings, and do 6 or 8, 6 or 10 damage to your opponent.
Him with
Yeah.
Hulk would be insane.
Oh, by the way, did I mention you could use the 3-cost Hope Summers that copies this ability and have it out a lot quicker? Or you could, yeah. you just
No,
double down
the
on it.
Hope
You can
the
double
Hope
down.
Summers is a game changer when it comes to a lot of this stuff. There's
Yeah,
no
that's
question
pretty cool.
about that.
You can just
Even
use her to
the
double
I'm
down.
just me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
You
at
do
a
a
4
4
cost,
slot.
at a 4 cost, I'm not sure I'd waste a slot on Hope Summers to do have them unless I was depending upon what I was going for with the team or whatnot. You're only saving 1 purchase cost on it.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: Daisy Johnson. You swing with Daisy Johnson, your Iceman and your Hope Summers that's copying Iceman take damage. Depending on how many shields you put into that swing with Daisy Johnson, you're dealing 4 to 8 damage, or 4 to 12 damage.
No,
Off of that
because
one
Daisy
swing.
Johnson deals the damage at one.
does it
it's
all
one
at
thing,
once.
so it's
Yeah.
only 1
Oh,
damage.
okay. That's true.
I
But
think
even like I said, the Iceman, I'm just me. If you use the force block global, is
Or
there a force
Doom
block or
Lance.
is it forced attack?
You just do Doomlance.
I don't know what Doomlance does.
Doomlance says that only that character can attack, but all opposing characters must block it.
There's better
Okay,
targets to
there you
use
go.
with Doomlance, though. I mean,
There are, but you could also, so with this Iceman, you can use Venerable Dreadnought or the Storm Boys global, give them range, and
Mhm.
you could just range, even if it's not going to KO the character that you're targeting with a range. So
Mhm.
let's say you just range their big defender or their big combo piece that they need to attack with next turn. They can't attack or block. So
right. As long as your opponent's win con is based on attack, this definitely
Yep.
is a counter to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could think this card has good combo potential for defense or attacking, and I like it a lot. And that's a good way to
The
stay in
right
shape.
on schedule is higher on my list, but there's times where I might use the I'm just me.
Yeah,
they're
for
both good.
shenanigans.
I enjoy them both, really.
All right,
Cool.
so moving on, we've now got Jean Grey, One Love, One Life, or Open Your Eyes, Scott, both 5-cost bolts, X-Men affiliated.
So when Jean Grey is fielded, spin all X-Men character dice up 1 level, and while active, when an opponent fields a villain character die, deal 1 damage to that opponent. Ooh,
If I had to choose between the two, I'm going with that one.
yeah.
Open your eyes, Scott.
Yeah.
If I'm running a
they-
Awaken team, then Jean Grey, the One Love, One Life
True.
is higher, but otherwise, yeah. But again, neither of these are top of my list for a team.
Yep.
I just don't like the art on her. They
I don't
chose the X-Men Gold
Yeah.
run, which was a couple of years ago, art from that, and I just didn't like this particular art.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to copy Medusa on her or something. I don't know. I don't like it myself.
Yeah, but at
Yeah,
a
that-
1-2-3 fielding cost and whatnot, I'm not in love. So
It's the 5 cost, really. If you would have dropped either of those down to like 4, I would use that. But there are villain teams, but you're not really gonna do anything with them fielding 1 or 2 villains a turn. They'd have to be fielding a lot of villains in order to profit from having a Jean Grey active.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
all right, so Jubilee, Olympic Gymnast, Wandra, or Jubilation Lee, a 2 or 3 cost bolt, X-Men affiliated. Max 5 on these.
I kind of like all these, honestly.
So this is the one that I was talking about earlier. I was referencing that there are tons of other cheaper X-Men bolts that you want for your Cyclops. This is one of them.
Yeah.
While she's active, the 2 costs Olympic Gymnast. While she's active, when you field a bolt character, deal 1 damage to target opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Wondra, when fielded, deal 2 damage to target character die or opponent. That's huge. And then lastly, Jubilation Lee, when Jubilee attacks, she deals 1 damage to your opponent for each other attacking bolt character die.
All of these
Oh,
are
yeah.
good, I feel.
I like the last one, but I don't really care for it that much. I'd choose between the first
Wandra is
two.
probably my personal favorite. I like just a flat damage amount, not a conditional damage amount.
Mhm.
But Olympic Gymnast, I could see a lot of potential with as well.
That one just has to sit there. You just field and ping away.
Yep.
But you do have to be running a bolt team or something that you're going to be cycling bolt.
Yep.
There's lots
Again,
of things
at
to
a
help you
max
out with that.
5 at a 2 cost, you can. That's a one that you might want all 5 of them.
Chwinga. Oh man, there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of
and
things that
then,
are good.
Again, we go back to Hope Summers. Then you Hope Summers her, and now it's every time since it's two characters. You've got Hope Summers and Jubilee with that ability. Every time you field one, you're going to deal 2 damage, 1 from each.
So are they both considered different while active at that point?
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Because the name is different. You've got Jubilee and Hope Summers.
It just copies the text box. It doesn't copy the name or anything.
Right.
All right, everyone, that's a little bit broken.
Cool.
All right. So moving on, Kitty Pryde. Professor Xavier is a jerk. Star Lord or more human than you. 3 or 4 cost mask. X-Men affiliated.
I like the dye on this one. The black and yellow look on that.
I don't
That's
really-
Black and yellow.
They look
Black
cool.
and yellow.
I don't care for any of these cards really.
They're
Maybe
just,
the
it's just a
unblockable one.
recoloring of the previous Kitty Pryde die, by the way.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, it's.
I just like the color scheme.
Actually, that more human than you, I could be interesting and helpful.
It's when fielded though, so I know she maxes out at 1 fielding cost.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't feel like any of these are good at all, honestly.
Compared to previous Kitty Prydes, none of these hold a torch. No.
Yeah,
Joe, we're not hearing you. Just
He's got it muted.
he muted
Yeah.
himself.
I'm sorry, I'm dealing with a baby that doesn't want to go to bed.
no, not a problem. I thought you were talking to us. So.
No, I do have a lot to say about Kitty Pryde. These versions are all good, but I'm not gonna let a crying child interrupt the stream.
All right,
Cool.
moving on.
All right, so Lady Deathstrike, bad to the bone, honor bound, or Yuriko Oyama, 5 cost or 6 cost fist, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or villain, or Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and villain affiliated on all of them. I mean, stat wise, 4-2-5-3-7-4 for a 1-2 fielding cost. Overcrush, never a bad one there. You know.
And you get life gain for doing that overcrush damage, so
Yeah.
not too bad. The other ones, they're cheaper. I don't like the attacking alone. Like, that's cool. She becomes a 9/6. That's nice, but I don't know. I don't really care for that either.
The
one,
honor bound is decent.
yeah, she sets out there, but she's a 5 cost and has to sit out there while you're fielding all your other stuff.
Yeah.
And there are ways to get discounts on stuff. I mean, we've seen it, obviously.
I mean,
but
I'm not complaining about the 6 cost overcrush and life gain. I just wish it was for every damage you dealt your opponent from the overcrush, you gained a life.
That would be
That's
so
too
broken.
much.
If I
much,
hit you
yeah.
for 3, I gained 3. Well, and that's close to how the Wolverine Lord of the Vampires worked. You know, so
that was also
just
a
this
super
single,
rare.
And
Yes,
that was
that
also
was
a
super-
single die.
You know, I would like, again, I'm a fan of life gain. It's a very underutilized thing in the game, unfortunately due to design, but I really think there's some future to be had with life gain. WizKids, if you're listening, I'd like to see some other abilities with it, and more so than just a single point of life gain here or there.
It'd be cool if they had a card that said the limitation of life is not as long as it's active, that doesn't apply. So you go over 20. That would be kind of
No,
cool.
because then
God.
if I'm able to build myself up to 30 and
You
all of a sudden you
guys.
knock out that character, I instantly drop down to 10, or
20.
knock down to 20 and lose the 10 life.
Hey man.
I'd rather have ways of going. No, I can gain 5-6 life in a turn, and swing back from the heavy hit that you just gave me, versus you hit me, I'm down to 3, I can gain 1 or 2, and now I'm up to 5. Ooh, wow. There's not enough life gain of more than 1 point to really make life gain a viable thing. And I really wish they would correct that.
I mean, she's very beefy for a 6 cost, and again, there are ways to bring that 6 cost down.
Yeah.
So I mean, what is the Kree soldier?
Kree captain.
Is that what it is?
Kree captain, you can get her for 4. Effectively.
Yeah. So I mean, you're getting a 4 cost over pressure.
Or no, it'd be 5
with life
costs. It'd
gain.
be 5.
5 cost over pressure with life gain. It's a 7/4. That's pretty good, man. So I think that's the best one. I probably wouldn't ever run her, but I think she's the best one.
I definitely would, think about her in a draft. I mean,
Yeah.
there'd be a,
Oh yeah. Overcrush is never a bad idea.
Overcrush and life gain in a draft. That would make my bad drafting even better.
If you had the Ring of Winter and Kree captain, you could get that really low.
Oh yeah, no, there are ways you can get it low. So
How low can
All
you?
right.
Low. All right, moving on. We got still quite a few characters.
yeah,
left.
we got a lot to go through. I think we're just gonna get the campaign box done tonight.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
have to
that's
do the
all
other
we're
two.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on, we've got Madeline Pryor, Anodyne, Sinister Origin, and Red Queen. 2 or 3 cost masks. Hellfire Club villain affiliated. I like the fact that we're seeing energy drain outside of D&D.
Yeah.
Seeing it in
Mhm.
other sets, it's nice to see. 3 cost to tune is not bad. To me, the Sinister Origin is a nice one. I
Yep.
mean, all of your Hellfire Club, energy drain.
Energy drain.
That's really good.
That's
You know,
probably the best one.
You're just going to consistently weaken your opponent's field and giving everything energy drain.
Although
If you're-
2 cost energy drain, that's all you need. It's her. And
Well,
you buy a few of those. She's pretty cheap. She's a 001.
She's pretty cheap, but again, dependent upon what you're building. In a
Mhm.
draft scenario where you're going to have a lot more Hellfire Club available to you,
True.
I'd probably go to the 3 cost. In normal constructed, I'd reach for the 2 cost.
Yeah.
All right. Magneto, Homo Superior, and Grey King. 5 cost masks. One's a Brotherhood and villain. The other one is a Hellfire Club and villain. So
Okay. I'd say the Grey King is probably better because I don't like the conditional thing of Brotherhood or X-Men characters.
Relying on the X-Men, yeah. So you go back to that Madeline Pryor 2 cost,
Mhm.
and now she is a 4/6 with energy drain.
Yep.
I would say probably in a inset draft scenario, I would go Homo Superior. In constructed, I'd probably reach more for the Grey King.
Yeah.
I can see how inset or draft that Homo Superior would be beneficial. But yeah,
Because it's +1/+1 for each different active one. So your opponent has 3 different, X-Men
Oof.
affiliated. Now he's getting, not just him, but
So
all of your
expensive.
Brotherhood are getting 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 1, 2, 3 to field though. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
He's a 6 total fielding cost. That's insane.
jeez.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that the Homo Superior should also start with a well active. That is not a, if you get 3 of them, he's only max 2. If you get 2 of them in the field, it does not stack.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of those odd ones that you have. Well, no, you're going to have exactly 2 in there if you buy 2 campaign boxes. Okay.
If you buy 2 campaign boxes, you will have 2. It's the max 5 that you end up with the extra die on.
So most people, it will be well active because they'll only have that one time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So moving on, Mastermind, Fracturing the Phoenix, probationary member, and Jason Wingard. 2, 3, or 4 cost shield, and all cards are villain, and they're either Brotherhood or Hellfire Club. the 2-cost infiltrate. Again, I'll never complain about a 2-cost infiltrate character.
Yep.
Especially a villain that may, now I can put that, start building a infiltrate villain control team.
Conversely, it has infiltrate, and if you run Bizarro Global, you can actually do a really good gotcha on your opponents.
Yep.
Well, don't you have to declare infiltrate before you decide to flip your stuff, so you can't do that?
It's only if it's unblocked. So you could do either or.
You declare attack, and if they declare blockers, now I have a global phase to do it. If they don't declare blockers, then I have the opportunity to declare infiltrate or say, no, I'm going to let it through, and I still have a global chance to then swap it, and now I'm going to hit you for 2, 3, or 4 versus the 1.
Gotcha. Okay. It's been a while since I've done infiltrate. I do like the other two as well. Probationary member, he doesn't take damage during combat. He's not going anywhere, so that's kind of cool. And then the mastermind one, where you get to roll him and remove any attacking character dice based on his level. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's very obviously it's very dependent. It's a gamble. It's one of those gamble cards, but I think that's kind of interesting.
You have a 50% chance of taking out 1, 2, or 3 of your opponent's
attacking dice.
Is anyone reading chat? Because I can't pull it up right now.
No,
yeah, we are.
I haven't been.
All right.
There.
Yeah, Reg said goodbye to spot on infiltrate teams. Mastermind took his spot. He took his spot. Ha! Yeah, I do like that gamble aspect to it. It makes the game fun. If you're trying to win, I probably wouldn't go with that. But if you're trying to have some fun, Mastermind it's fun.
All right.
Throw that on a Harvey Bullock and one of them other things we have to flip.
Mama's babies.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
All right. So Mystique, Hellfire Headmistress, Oh Bitter Victory, and Brotherhood of Her Own. The 3, 4, or 6 cost mask, and all of them are villains in either Brotherhood or Hellfire.
I like how it escalates so quickly on the purchase cost.
Yeah,
Is that the widest range of purchase on a character?
I believe so, from 3 to 6. I'm not a fan of her stat block in any way, shape, or form. At least they did attempt to correct it from the old, was it AVX or UXM?
Where it was 1-1-1?
Well, no, where the level 2 actually went down.
Oh yeah.
From the level 1 phase. They at least kept it the same there.
I understand why the 6 is so expensive. You're copying the attack and defense of their card, their non-villain card, so that could be anything. So that makes I get it why it's a 6 cost, but I probably would never run it just because of that. I don't know. Which one of the other two do y'all like? I don't think either one of y'all like the 6 cost.
I mean, that 3 cost.
Yeah.
That 3 cost is just amazing. I'll gladly pay the 2 building costs to get a possible 8/8 or 9/9 out.
Yeah. And with that Magneto.
Yeah, with that Magneto Homo Superior, out there as well. I mean, there's definitely some in-set shenanigans that can be done with this, but out of set, I don't see this one getting a huge amount.
I mean, I beg to differ because
I'm not going to say it's going to get some, but it's not going to become a staple.
Well, the thing about it is that something also that a lot of people tend to do whenever they're building for competitively is they would try to minimize the amount of missed turns as far as purchases go, and they'll go mono energy. So Magneto is a mask, and Mystique is a mask, and you have a couple of other villains that are also a mask. Madeline Pryor.
Again, that's all in set. I'm saying out of set. Her worth goes down a little bit, not completely. I mean, you still have Rare Blob from X-Men First Class, who is a Brotherhood. You've got Scarlet Witch, who's a Brotherhood. So I mean, there are some staples that you can get, and so you have a 3 cost who's going to get a +4/+4 just with those 2 out there. Is not a bad one, but
Yeah, so you're looking at a 5/5 on
5/5 on all faces, whether it's 0, 1, or 2 fielding cost.
For a 3 cost, that's not bad. I'll take that.
So also, Mystique O Bitter Victory gets +1/+1 for each other character die in the field zone. Instant War. She gets +6/+6.
Wow. Yeah.
No, because it's only your field zone. It's not
In
both
the
players.
field zone.
It says
Each
each
player's
other.
field zone is separate.
Is it?
Yes, by default, it's only your field. Unless it says otherwise, it is only your field.
Hmm.
Trying to break the game, Joe. Jeez.
All
I'm
right.
pretty
But yeah.
sure. I'm pretty sure that refers to both, but all right.
Judge.
Ryan's
I'm
the judge.
interested to see- yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm interested to see if that is.
I definitely could be wrong, but from what I remember, the field zone is separate for each player and whatnot. But I'm sure chat will correct me if I'm wrong. And
I mean, you can look at it. I mean, it's a max 4 and it's a 4-cost character die. I don't think that they're going to give you that ability for across the board. You know what I mean? For both sides, that'd be ridiculous.
I mean, they've done worse.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy.
They've learned from their mistakes, haven't they?
I mean, they've always said go with the weaker effect, right? And the weaker effect is to only do your field zone.
I'm just saying we have other instances of this wording, but it says your field zone. Not the
and
field
again,
zone.
like I said, I'm sure chat's piping up and talking about it and whatnot.
Both sides, it counts, is what Reg is saying. I'll have to talk to PK about that, but still, that's an amazing ability. Even if it's just your side, so you do instant war, voila, you have +3/+3.
Yeah, and if you're drafting this set, drafts are nothing but wall. So
Right.
there you go.
Call
All right,
that
and then
Mystique Trump.
Yeah.
The fattest backside in the game, Professor X. Too good for this world, to the astral plane, and to me, my X-Men. 5 or 6 cost mask. Surprise, surprise, X-Men affiliated character. And we've got the revised PXG now. Heimdall
HXG.
Global
HXG.
Yeah, HXG printed back on a Professor. So, do we get to call this PXG2? What are we calling this now?
The one from X-Men First Class, I call that one PXG because it fields a sidekick and does some things.
That's PXG2. This is just HXG because it's half of a PXG and it's also on Heimdall, so it works both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So out of these 3, I guess you're only running it for the global at this point. But I know Ryan, you like Leaking, so would you use To Be My X-Men?
Both of them gain life.
Yeah, but the middle one to the astral plane, you have to take them out of your field zone. So you're losing blockers or chump blockers. But you will get a big roll, I guess, next turn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, but they're all trash.
They're all I mean none of them are good, but
for
outside
a
of the
6
global.
cost or 5 cost character, I'm never running any of them. A when fielded ability is with a 5/7/9 backside. I'm not going to invest that much in it, especially on a max 2 for a well fielded.
PXG light.
Yeah, there we go. Let's call them PXG light.
I think
so. If I was forced to put one on a team and actually have to use one of their abilities, I would probably say the To Me My X-Men, because he's a when active. Yeah.
I think if the 5 cost had the global on it also, I think that one would be probably the more playable.
Well, and that's the reason they didn't put the global on it.
That's BS. I think they should put it on there. I'll draw it in there myself.
Calm down. All right, let's move it along because I think we still got like 6 more characters to go.
All right.
And then basic actions.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. All right.
We're here for another hour, everyone.
Yeah. Rachel Summers, Prestige, Phoenix, and Marvel Girls. 6 or 7 cost Bolt, X-Men affiliated. And the reason you put her on a team is because you're running Hope Summers as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, he got there. He finally got on, folks.
Oh no! Trust me, I knew this one. So
You play all the Summers with this. got
really do.
Jean Grey, Cable, and Hope, and Rachel. And there you go.
Yeah.
And don't forget about Cyclops.
Oh, and Havoc also.
Just run a
Cool.
family
So,
team.
The
Just run
family
a,
team.
yeah, that would be a night. That would be an interesting theme night right there.
There you go.
Because you could do like Bat family, you could do the Summers family, you could do the Star Lord family,
All right.
There.
Thanos family. Yeah, that would be a pretty interesting theme night.
Moving
Big,
on, because
Ross.
that's the only reason to have that card. Any of those cards is because of.
No, well, because of Hope, but their abilities are just solid. I mean, even
Yeah,
in a
and-
draft, you want that.
Yeah, I mean, any one of these is a good one, and the fact that you're able to use Hope Summers to get those abilities,
Steal it.
you know, for 3 instead of 6 or 7 is just insane.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so Sabretooth, Terrible Transcendent Joy, or
Hold
Happy
on.
Birthday, boy.
Before we move on to Sabretooth, I just wanted to touch on Prestige real quick. If you're using Hope Summers to copy Rachel Summers' Prestige, it says KO all other characters except the Rachel Summers die using the effect.
The name is always changed
It's
to the new
replaced
one.
to whatever
Yeah.
whatever the die is
Okay.
copying.
All right. Cool. All right. Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so again with Sabretooth, Terrible Transcendent Joy, and Happy Birthday, boy.
They keep on
4 and
doing
5
my boy
cost
Rob.
fist. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and Villain for both. You know, I'm reaching for the Terrible Transcendent Joy. Overcrush, who gets bigger with Brotherhoods.
Me
My
too.
problem is they have not printed a good Sabretooth yet.
There's that one that spins up in Uncanny.
And that's it.
Still
All it
not
does.
good.
That's it.
It's
Still not
literally
good.
all it does.
Yeah.
They keep on doing my boy wrong. They just
Well, Sabretooth is garbage, so.
well, he's freaking Wolverine's brother and arch nemesis. Like, how do you mess that up?
Well, they haven't been done a good Wolverine die since AVX, so you know.
I like the one where
The
you
double damage.
Yeah, the damage whenever you KO it, it does the damage to opposing character dice. I like that one.
Nah, man. They don't know how to do Wolvie and Sabretooth.
Well, that's
All right, well,
let's put
let's
that on
move
the
it on
list
then.
too of the things he did. All right.
All right, so
Things we
Sebastian
say
Shaw.
that won't get us any closer to getting product.
Yeah.
Sebastian Shaw, The Stronger I Become or The Harder You Hit Me. 4 cost fist, Brotherhood, Villain affiliated.
These both suck.
Pay regeneration sucks, and then having to pay a life to do regeneration? What?
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, I see no use of the Harder You Hit Me.
Mm-mm. The spin
I'm
up one's
sorry,
okay.
but the stronger I
but-
become is actually really good.
The Stronger I Become, I can see some benefit to it, especially considering he goes from a 1 to a 6 on his attacks and whatnot.
He
There's some
escalates
benefit.
real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with my luck, I'm gonna roll him on that max 3 side, and I'm gonna be pissed,
Yeah.
and I get no benefit from it. I would never use him.
Well,
On
no,
the-
you actually misdirect or you polymorph him in.
Well, there you go. There's that.
All right. I think somehow
All right.
Rob still pays 3 to field him, even with polymorph.
Probably.
All right.
So.
Storm, the Storm Goddess Comes, Mother Nature, or
Ooh.
Oro Monroe. 2, 3, or 4 cost Bolt, X-Men affiliated.
Storm Goddess Comes for an attuned team.
Yeah, and we're running a we're using the Deadpool die alternate coloring, not the other ones. So
The UXM.
yeah, the UXM. So the Storm Goddess Comes. When fielded, you may reroll target action die in your reserve pool on an action or energy, but you cannot reroll an energy die that has been partially spent.
Good thing they called that out.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Well,
love how they were
that's
like,
actually that's been in the rules since day one, but they finally added it to the reminder text, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
nice.
I just love that.
Got some
I love how
chican-
they were.
You got some shenanigan ass people trying to like say no, I only spent half of it.
No, the second you spend any of the energy on it, it's locked. You can no longer re-roll that die through mechanisms like this. So,
All right.
Um,
Mother
Are you
Nature.
kidding me? Y'all want to do
Blah.
the 2 cost, but the 3 cost is amazing.
all of them are good in my opinion. The 3 cost, the Oro Monroe, when fielded, deal 1 damage to target opponent for each action die in your reserve pool.
That's pretty
I mean, if
good.
you're talking golden, running that with the satchel.
So
rare
satchel. I couldn't
satchel.
remember what it was called. I was
know,
like utility belt. That's like that's not it. But yeah, the satchel.
you're getting a huge number of action dice, getting her out into the field and just spanking them even harder.
So there was a combo that we tried to loop. Remember that combo, Ryan, with Atlantis and
Mhm.
Momentum and Scarlet Witch, the one that
Mhm.
whenever you use an action die, you may pay 1 to prep it.
Here's the problem: is she's a when fielded and only for the number that are currently in your pool. So
Okay.
the loop wouldn't matter. It's not every
Well,
time you use it.
I'm just saying, if you put those 2 together, you can either use the big Atlantis to save all your stuff for the next turn whenever you do actually field her,
Mhm.
or you can buy all your momentums up and then have all of them ready for whenever you do field her.
Yeah, I mean, again, that one's a lot more conditional to line up to make sure you get a large number of actions and her on the same turn. Because again, she's a when fielded on all of them. And since especially the 3 cost, looks at what's in your reserve pool.
And
The
you
2
can clay
cost,
face in.
right? The 2 cost is going to be a more used because it gives you that extra reroll for attuned characters.
The one thing
So-
that I will say that I don't really care for with all 3 of the cards is their when fielded abilities,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that's kind of sucks.
She's always been like that, with the exception of her
No,
ABX.
she's also had a lot of one attacks.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
ABX and her UXM didn't have any when fielded effects, but her all of her ABX incarnations were when fielded effects.
All right. Well, let's keep going to
and
get
you
to
said
the most powerful card in the set here.
Oh my god.
the blank toad.
Yep, Toad, the leader will be proud. The most powerful card in the set here. And strange augmentations. 3 or 4 cost fist, Brotherhood villain, and I mean we can stop the stream right here, guys. We've reached the pinnacle of Dice Master cards.
Only if it had an X-Men affiliation, so what's her name could copy it.
Now you're just breaking the game. I mean, why would we want to copy a 3 cost with a 3 cost? I mean, come on.
I wish it had flavor text on it or something, honestly, but it's...
Like the old Ghost Rider from AVX.
Yeah.
Did.
No, it would say the cheesy Storm line from the first X-Men movie.
Yeah, I would actually like that. That would be kind of like hilarious.
They need to honestly start putting quotes on blank text characters.
Yeah.
No, they need
For
to leave them
flavor
blank.
text?
Just leave them blank so we can write in whatever we want.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about strange augmentations, though?
I can see some use for it, specifically in a villain control type, team. But at a 4 cost with a 1/2/2 fielding, you're really gonna have to figure out a condition to make him useful.
Yeah,
and
That
if you
right
can't-
there
If you
is
name
collectible.
villain, he has to attack himself.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is how it
it
works.
would.
Is it? He can't attack himself.
Yes,
said he attacked
while
himself.
while it's
No.
active, characters of that affiliation must attack
Both
each turn.
sides. So if I name villain, all of my villains have to attack, and all of your villains
Yeah,
have to attack.
yeah. I was saying that Chris is saying he has to attack himself. Toad can't attack himself.
He has to attack as well.
Gotcha.
So, collector, 2 fists, or 1 and a fist to field this toad on your opponent's turn, and they have to attack with their shriek. They have to attack with their blob. They have to attack with their switch. It's
They're-
pretty big,
they're-
and they have to attack with their collector.
There is some benefit to it. Like I said, it's just we've added a lot of control elements into the game, and so now you have to start picking and choosing which control elements are you running.
I'm okay with that
And-
dilemma.
I'm not saying it's a bad dilemma. It's one of those, depending on your team build, is that something that you're willing to take that hit, to get out from under your opponent's control, to have all those guys attack and let them hit you and go to their used and cycle, to put him on your team. Again, it depends on the build. I can see some uses for him, but I don't. Again, he's not a shoe in on every team. Every control team.
I think for the control matchup for the collector team, where they kind of stall out when they actually have to wind up controlling first, I think this could actually be something really good.
I wish he, at a 4 cost, I wish he had a global on there that allowed him to give, say, the villain affiliation.
Or remove it from himself.
No, because now it's the double-edged sword. I can give villain, so if I name villain, I can make anything of yours attack, but he's going to attack as well. And so now it becomes a scenario like Joe says, where you're going to use collector to bring him in, and then he's gone during your turn and whatnot. So.
All right. I think we need to look away from this power so we don't have the Temple of Doom thing go on.
Uh-oh, who did we just lose?
Robert, he's back.
No, everyone's back. Storm's coming through, so Robert's internet's going in and out.
Thunder rolls. All right.
Yeah, it's probably
All
that
right,
storm.
and last but not least, as far as the characters go, we have Wolverine, Adamantium Fury, and good doesn't always mean nice.
You mean
5
last and least, right? Because they keep on trashing my boy. What is going on here?
5 and 6 cost fist, X-Men affiliated. Same die that we have from AVX, just different coloring.
Garbage.
And
None of those are good. Neither one of those are good. Never play Wolverine from the set.
Yeah. And the basic actions aren't on this website, so next week we'll review basic actions and also team packs.
Team packs. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
I think there's some interesting combinations. I think what's her name mixed with Wolverine could be pretty powerful. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just
Hope someone
glad
makes everything
that
better.
Now if I remember correctly, isn't there from X-Men First Class there was a global or a card that would give the X-Men affiliation?
Nope.
No? Okay.
It's not.
You're thinking
Avengers
of,
is the only one that does that.
Avengers Infinity with the ID card.
Okay. I could have. There may be. I thought there was a way you could give something an affiliation from something. Maybe it's golden.
It's golden.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely
Well,
golden.
yeah, there are 2 Iron Men, and then there's a basic action.
Yeah, but the Iron Man I thought gave villain. I'm talking.
He
I
gives
thought
They
there
only
was,
give villain.
no, I thought there used to be one that you could give any affiliation.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
Not global, but an actual like action. I don't remember.
Oh, you're
It-
talking about the basic action that.
Yes.
Yes. That
Yeah.
one is from the Amazing Spider-Man set, I believe. Infiltration. Or
Spiderman.
Infiltrate.
Infiltrate, maybe, yeah. So
Yeah.
at that point, we can break the game. We run Infiltrate with the Blank Toad with Hope Summers, and there we go. We get the Vortex of Blank going on.
I think Infiltrate only affects your active characters, though.
I thought, well, yeah.
Let's not throw that kind of thing in there. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on, guys. I mean, come on.
Come on. All right. I'm switching.
Overall, I kind of like this set. It seems like it's gonna be fun,
Yeah.
but I like all the sets. That's just me. So send me a product.
All right.
I mean, I like all the sets.
You heard it here first. Rob's willing to take free product. So I'm kind of excited because I think there does need to be another X-Men set.
Well, considering they couldn't print one for a very long time, it's nice to see that they're finally able to. So
Yeah. Can't wait to get my hands on it. We'll see how it goes. Ross has did a live stream. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, he's actually gonna put the 2 videos of his unboxing onto YouTube.
Oh, Ross is going to put it up on his YouTube. So we'll look out for that. And also, there's a straw poll in the description. We're trying to figure out what we should do for our next possible tournament. We couldn't get the draft working like we wanted it to, so we may or may not do another draft. I don't know. So that's in the description.
if you guys really want to do a draft, we'll push for it. But if there's another idea that comes up, Give us
Guys.
time. We're working on a couple ideas to make draft work better.
So far, 100% of the votes want to do the ladies team because I just voted.
Hey,
I like the screw you format.
I know you do.
I don't.
I don't either.
As long as there's rules, well-written rules on team building, I'm
Well
okay with
written.
As long as we don't have jerks like Ryan building teams for people.
it. I told you when you invited me to do that, when I was like, is there restrictions on what I can build? You're like, no, just build anything. I'm like, oh, that.
I thought you were going to be reasonable, not
no.
He
Why would
accidentally
I be
gave me a
reasonable?
5 cost. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to give you a 5 cost.
You know, everything should have been 8 or 9 cost. You know.
No, just give him common Kate Bishop.
Dude,
Or-
I gave Ryan Common Kate Bishop, and I gave him Absorbing Man.
And I actually used it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's in the description. If you guys just vote on that, that would be quite helpful. This is something that if you guys want to play it, we'll try to figure out a way to do it. You guys got anything else?
Well, we've run a little long, so I know I had planned on doing a little shout out here.
You
my
can
normal
still do it
rant
if
at
you
the end.
want.
No,
Just
I'll
to
hold
touch on-
off, but I want to touch base on one thing. True Mr. Six, Spoon Boy. For once, I actually agree with you on one thing, and that is that Lucan, I applaud your vocabulary from the One Big Weekend. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay. All right. I guess that's gonna do it here on the mysteriousness of Ryan there.
No, it's if you read the comments on that one particular post, you'll know exactly what he's talking about.
All right.
I believe that the Ministry of Dice actually does have a stream up on YouTube that they do cover this in more detail, and I will be more than happy for you to watch theirs and get on the inside of this one. But
It's pretty good.
due to this being a more family friendly stream than Ministry of Dice, that's about as far as I can take this one.
All right.
So
I think that's gonna do it for us on this mysterious outro. Robert, you want to take us out or no?
Love takes us down to the streets. All right, here we go. So that's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and join our conversations on Discord. And as always, thanks for hanging out.
See you guys.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.